Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. Please enjoy this video on the Political Voices Network.
You've heard a lot of things in a court of law, but never Von pants.
That's a new one.
Yep.
That is a new one.
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn, again, I listened to you and all the other legal experts. It feels to me like this case has already been made. Like, they can do all they want to try to discredit Michael Cohen, but there's all the receipts, right? I was saying the two that have stuck out to me so far is I can't remember who, National Enquirer guy, whatever, but they basically admitted they knew they were breaking the law. And so whoever said, don't worry, we have Jeff Sessions in our pocket. What was the other one? They knew they were committing election fraud. They said, what have we done? And then they said, I hope Trump gives us a pardon. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but is that not consciousness of guilt? I mean...
Yeah, well, the words don't come directly out of Donald Trump's mouth, and that's, some of what we will be hearing with, for example, Michael Cohen's testimony, Hope Hicks' testimony. But you're exactly right, Steph, because thus far, David Pecker said, of course, this was about, gaining unfair advantage in the election. Keith Davidson, it was an interesting bit of testimony when he said, when he woke up and saw that Trump won the election, he said, oh, my God, what have we done? Donald Trump maintains that this had nothing to do with the election, paying off playmates and porn stars. It was all about protecting Melania's feelings. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Then Keith Davidson would have woken up and celebrated. Hooray, we've protected Melania's feelings. No, it was all about stealing the 2016 election. Everybody knows it. Michael Cohen and Hope Hicks are about to talk about it as well. So you're right. I mean, the only thing that's left is the jury deliberations and the massive convictions.
Yeah. Glenn, so yesterday they were trying to, obviously they went easy on David Pecker, even though he was just as incriminating, but I can only assume because God knows what else he knows, how much more he knows. So Trump is witness tampering on that one by calling him a nice guy, as if to say, okay, don't say anything else now. Keith Davidson, they went after, right, this cross-examination. He grilled him on his involvement with settlements with Charlie Sheen, Lindsay Lohan, and other, clients of his. And he said, you extracted money from Charlie Sheen, right? And he said, there's no extraction. Obviously, they're trying to make this about Keith Davidson and not about what Trump did, right?
Yeah, when you can't attack the evidence, you attack everything else. You attack these collateral, deals that Keith Davidson was involved in. You attack the prosecutors, you attack the judge, you attack the jury, because the evidence is strong. You can't attack the evidence, so you attack everything else. You try to distract, and you hope you can pick off, the lowest hanging fruit in the jury box, that one person who might be confused by all of this white noise.
Yeah. Do you agree with me that Michael Avenatti should shut his big pie hole and just stay in prison?
Yeah. He's a crook. He's a criminal. Lawyers who steal from their clients earn a special place in legal hell. So, I don't really want to hear anything he has to say.
Yeah, he's obviously trying to settle old grudges with Michael Cohen or Stormy Daniels, who as you said, he stole from. And he has zero credibility. Michael Cohen, like I keep saying, at least he admits, yes, I lied. I lied for Donald Trump. I went to prison for Donald Trump. He didn't, but again, Michael Avenatti. First of all, who was Jody, some outlet just had to apologize to Michael Cohen because Michael Avenatti lied about that. He said he was having an affair with Michael Cohen was having an affair with Stormy Daniels and they were extorting Trump together. Right. A complete lie. Had to apologize, retract it. Anyway, you tweeted Trump reportedly is angry his attorneys aren't being aggressive enough. They aren't attacking the witnesses hard enough, and Trump is trying to dictate their tactical decisions. Let's all sit back and watch as it all blows up in Donald's face. I was saying yesterday, Glenn, how are you an attorney for Donald Trump? This is where, he's out there on tape several times going, don't know either of these women, never met them, don't know who they are. That's a ridiculous defense based on all this, evidence and audio tape. And, right, there's more audio tape yesterday, right?
Yeah, it is a ridiculous defense, but Donald Trump is dictating tactics to his lawyer. People should know that in a criminal representation, the defendant only has relatively few decisions he gets to make. Does he plead guilty or not guilty? Does he accept a plea offer? Does he insist on a jury trial or waive his right to a jury trial? Does he testify or decline to testify? But all of the tactical decisions, what witnesses to call, how to present a defense, how to cross-examine the other side's witnesses. Those are up to the attorneys. But Donald Trump is depriving his attorneys from trying the case tactically the way they think it should be tried. And that's, you ever heard the saying that anybody who represents themselves is a fool for a client?
Yeah.
Anybody who dictates tactics to their defense attorney is blowing up their own case. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. Everybody knows he had relationships and encounters with these women, but he is going to tell his lawyers, you go scorched earth after those women. And the jurors are going to hold that against Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So as I say, I think he's done. You can't count your chickens, but I think the case is going well for the prosecution and really poorly for Trump.
Yeah, and there was reporting the other day that, he wants them to attack the judge and the jury more. And I'm like, I'm not a lawyer, and that seems really dumb. So, yeah, go ahead and do that. So, and yesterday, here it comes, right? Did you see the clip of him lying, saying, I'm not being allowed to testify? Because, of course, before he's like, of course I'm going to testify. And he's not going to. But so now he has to put the lie out that he's not allowed to, right?
And Judge Merchan's going to have to take that up. He's going to say, you have a constitutional right to testify, Defendant Trump. And I've heard reports that you announced to the public that my gag order prevents you from testifying in this trial. Judge Merchan's going to have to take that up, expose Donald Trump as a liar for the millionth time. Because you can't leave that misperception out there.
Right. You said the upcoming testimony of Karen McDougal and Stormy Daniels may be some of the most damning testimony against Trump in the eyes of the jurors, as you sort of But I feel like the prosecution really is setting this up beautifully by the way the order of the witnesses and all of the documentary evidence, documents, audio tapes, etc., right?
Yeah, one of the most important tactical decisions prosecutors have to make is what's called the order of call. In what order do you present witnesses? We typically don't do it chronologically. What we do is we put all of our strongest witnesses on first, so the jurors get the picture of exactly what happened. This was Donald Trump making hush money payments and then criminally falsifying business records to cover them up because he was violating campaign finance laws. That's what this is about. Yeah. So now the jury already knows what went on, and Michael Cohen is simply going to come in and parrot or reinforce
what he said,
what the jurors already know through the other witnesses. That's why you bury the weaker witnesses farther down in the order of call, because then when they go after Michael Cohen, it falls flat because the jurors already have heard all of the earlier evidence.
Yeah. Sidebar, Counselor, how quickly would you destroy Kristi Noem on a witness stand about the puppy murder? The inconsistencies in her story.
I had the pleasure of being a keynote speaker yesterday in a TV news conference in D.C., and I said something about when I hear the word business, stick with me, Steph, there's a point to this. When I hear the word business, I flinch because I failed out of business school, and then I became a journalism major and loved journalism. I said I flinch like a dog who's about to be hit in the snout with a rolled-up newspaper, or maybe like a dog who was just told they're going to be adopted by Kristi Noem.
Awful, just awful. Just keeps changing her story, though. It's a prosecutor's dream.